Hi, right, as some of you probably know, I've already done my review of Queen Bohemian Rhapsody. And as some of you already may know, that, well, I didn't know, okay? I seriously didn't know because I don't go on the web and look at critics or Rotten Tomatoes, right? And, but I went on YouTube and I saw Collider. Yes, that's right, Collider. But the reason, it was one of the guys out of, well, I can't even mind their names. They do a double. You know, the two of them, the two guys are normally beside each other. Anyway, it's not important. And they looked happy, so I thought, right, they like Bohemian Rhapsody, right? Because I take what Collider says with a little pinch of salt. Okay, I used to listen to him quite a lot, but as you can tell by some of my older YouTubes, I fell out with him. And along with John Campion and stuff. So, but this time I noticed one of the videos and it said, you know, it was basically talking about the backlash against Bohemian Rhapsody. So when I put it on and I watched it, and they were defending, the guy was defending it, and he says, we loved it, but why didn't the critics? So then I looked at Rotten Tomatoes, and again, it is like squashed. It is squashed. And I thought, what else do they want from a film, right? What else do they need? But I looked into it further, and I can see that majority of people love the film, right? The only people that didn't like the film were people that wanted gratuitous gay sex or drug taking or whatnot, right? Something as solid as, you know, something as thick and heavy like that. But this film, being a certificate 12, we knew right away it wasn't going to do that. But what was so good about this film, and by the way, hey, there may be spoilers in this, okay, so check out my other review, okay, this is just a rant. So, I mean, what else did they want from the film? This film, yeah, it covered drug taking, it covered, you know, the exploits of Freddie Mercury in such a way, you know, and it exploited his difficulties that he was having in his life, finding out, you know, which way he swung, the loneliness he felt, the love he had for the woman, but knew he couldn't be with her because he was gay, but he was always, you know, he loved her that much. He wrote the song, he left his money to her and stuff like that. And did I love it? Of course, I loved it. I was in tears, as I say. My boy, 11 years old, crying his eyes out. I've just went and bought this, right, to even find out more. I've been a Queen fan, but that film inspired me to check out all the YouTubes with Freddie Mercury and get right back into it. And if that was the film's intention, then it did its job. It was a wee bit of an emotional roller coaster at the end. It should have had most people coming out sad. So what is this? These critics for me do not exist anymore. Okay, there may have been a time years ago before the internet when you had so-called critics that you would read in the newspaper or you would read that. But ever since the internet, ever since these clickbait sites of so-called journalism or critics on YouTube, I don't try to deem myself as a critic. I will only review. I won't go out there and review all the films, right? If there's a film out there that I like, I'll tell you why I like it, and that's about it. I'm not going to go out and say, but this film sucks or this film sucks. I ain't going to do that. I won't even review the film to tell you, okay? So I don't deem myself as a critic in that respect, because I only will talk about films I want to talk about that I liked. But there's stations out there that will review and say it's bad or good or whatever, right? So as I was listening to I was listening to the radio this morning, and the radio host who had seen it, he was a big Queen fan. He'd got himself dressed up. I've even dressed up like that. Okay, I've got a picture of me dressed up as that, and he loved it, and he talked to this other guy. He loved it, so he phoned this woman in the a normal person from the street, and phoned in and asked her if they enjoyed it. And what he actually said was, majority of people on the web was loving it, and everything else apart from the critics. Now, who are these critics, right? Who are these, and what did they want? They think they're so hoity-toity that they'll look at a film and say, now this is meant to be a film about the creation and the downfall of the band, but it didn't go deep enough as far as I'm concerned. It didn't. No, but what the film did was it told you a remarkable story of friendship, of loyalty, of love between the band members, and how they stuck together. And it showed you one member, fall for the wayside and pick himself up and realise his mistakes, and how he was brainwashed. And we've all been, with people that we shouldn't have been with sometimes in our lives, that may have pushed us astray. You see all these things happening in film shows like Jeremy Kyle or stuff like that, or any sort of chat show. I can't remember what the one, the Jerry Springer, right? You had all that. People will take people and they'll change them and they'll turn them, but in the long run they can end up coming back and realising what a dick they've been. And this is what that film did. This film took you on that journey. It told you what you sort of needed to know. Some of the band members, were hurt by Freddie's antics and stuff like that, but in the long run, at the end, like Darth Vader, he came and saw the light again, he comes back, and that's it. That is mainly it. And by the time the film comes, you realise that this guy and the band was legends, and they carried on for the next 6 years singing. That's all we really needed to know, that they got back together. Right? But no, critics somehow, they want something deep and meaningful. Well, listen, we gave you deep and meaningful films like BVS, right, or Man of Steel, but you somehow that didn't gel with you. It was thick with literature and from other books, but no, that somehow didn't come across as clever as you. But then again, you somehow rate Marvel films that are all the same, and you somehow think that is the best slice of bread, and you give most Marvel films a fresh tomato. To me, that shows that this system doesn't work. And I'll give you another big example, right? The Greatest Showman. Well, all the critics slated that movie, but because of word of mouth, the film became a success, and it really shunted the critics. It really put them in the place. So my theory is, let's stop clicking onto Rotten Tomatoes. I know what you're thinking, right? You want to see a film, you want it to get great reviews and stuff like that, but how many times have you seen a film with great reviews and thought it was rubbish, right? Look at, now, what was that film, A Star Is Born, right? It's got all those stars around it. The Guardian says this paper says that, this TV channel says that. But it's not speaking for the whole paper or whatnot. It's just speaking for one guy, one positive critic, because I'm sure that all these tabloids or whatnot don't just employ one critic to see everything. Okay? They have a bunch of critics, and what the film people do is they take the best one and say, look, the Guardian says this is a 5-star. Film magazines, it's always reviewed by the one person, the one guy, and who are we to judge what they should tell us? Now, the Rotten Tomatoes score, I've often said, I'm not even going to bother looking at the comments in the Rotten Tomatoes score, because I've said it umpteen times before, for the people who write for Rotten Tomatoes know that there's a flaw in their system, then surely they should be making sure that whatever they put down, if they want it to be a fresh tomato, then they have to carefully watch how they word it and watch how they rate it. Because IMB gave it a big high score. Right? Now I can't believe for 1 minute so-called 100 odd critics didn't give this film a good score, because it had more emotional depth to it than any Marvel film that's gone on before. And I may even go and be unbiased, I may say a lot of DC films as well. And so for me to see this film and to have these critics, it's what the guy in the radio, who actually listens to critics anymore? So listen, let's put a stand on this. I know I'm probably only talking to one person or two people. Well, maybe you'll share this, maybe you'll like it and tell other people. But let's pass the word. Let's stop clicking on to things like Rotten Tomatoes. Let's stop scoring the films. Let's all just either we hate a film or we love the film. But let's not get anybody, let's not tarnish it. Let's not be the critics that we all despise. So let's just use... So, next film comes out, don't even look at Rotten Tomato. Why? Why should you look at it, right? Say Captain Marvel comes out, right? Most DC fans will probably say it'll get a great review, it'll get stars and whatnot. So most DC fans won't even look at the Rotten Tomato scores. Marvel fans will enjoy them, and vice versa, right? DC fans now won't look at Rotten Tomato scores when a DC film comes out. Why? Because they believe it's going to be this way. So how did we get to this stage where we somehow have to check in with some sort of critic? In America, I was told that they used to have these big famous critics that they would listen to. They had... Over in Britain, we don't have that. Right? We don't have major critics that we listen to, and maybe a couple of years ago there was a film show that used to come out, and you would have a presenter, and like right now it's something. I think the last one we had was Jonathan Ross, who done film 1990 or film 2018 or 2017, 2000, so forth. But that's gone to the wayside, right? We have got to just ignore critics, because really the majority of critics now are just people like you and me. And some people may say the critics are getting money by the film studios. So, and Hugh Grant said on Greatest Showman that it's thanks to us guys that love The Greatest Showman that put the film where it was, and not the critics, So let's defend our own rights, let's defend our own choices in life, and let's not listen to anybody else. And for me, why not just spread the word how good Bohemian Rhapsody is? And even though you may not enjoy it, pick a film, choose it's brilliant. Right? Let's make another Bohemian film, Bohemian Rhapsody, fight against the critics and prove them wrong again.